Paige Hopkins, we have some sad breaking news coming to us tonight. As being reported by the Associated Press, singer Whitney Houston is dead. Again, this is according to the Associated Press. Whitney Houston was 48 years old, a reigning pop star. We are waiting to find out the cause of her death. She, of course, was at her peak in the 80s and 90s. She had a very famous stormy marriage to another singer, Bobby Brown, that produced a daughter that you see right there. We're trying to find out again the cause of death. She has had a remarkable career. She was actually discovered at 19 by Clive Davis of Arista Records. She also comes from a storied musical family. Her mother is the gospel singer Cissy Houston, and of course her aunt, the famous pop singer Dionne Warwick. Again, we are right now getting word, breaking news coming to us out of the Associated Press tonight. Very sad news for the entertainment industry. Of course, on this weekend of the Grammys, we're getting word that Whitney Houston, age 48 years old, has died.
Question is, what happened in that hotel room? And we are getting reports from a Hollywood executive who was sleeping in the room directly upstairs. And she says at 3:30 in the afternoon, she heard two loud booms, which she likened to somebody dropping something on the floor. Two loud booms. And that was shortly before, of course, the authorities were called at 3:43. After the two loud booms, she heard loud voices and panic, and then she heard a siren. Now, I was just curious. I don't know if Mike Brooks is still here, but there's been talk of people trying to figure out two loud booms. Somebody falling, okay, would constitute one loud boom. But what are the possibilities with two loud booms? That has been sort of perplexing as we try to piece together this puzzle.
Yeah, you know what? And I want to bring people up to date with this timeline before we get to Mike Brooks, because the exact timeline, everything happened very quickly. We're trying to piece together yesterday's events between the time that Whitney Houston was found and when she was pronounced dead. It was only about a half an hour. She was supposed to have attended Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party in the same hotel, but at around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, a music executive staying in the room above Whitney Houston's woke up after hearing two loud thuds. So the executive is above Whitney Houston. Then the music executive heard someone yelling, but didn't know what was going on. Police reported getting a phone call at 3:43, so that's about 13 minutes, that's about 13 minutes, that's about 13 minutes after the thuds. After Houston's bodyguard found her unconscious, police say that they got there in just 2 minutes, and fire department officials were already on the scene. Medics were trying to resuscitate Whitney Houston, but it was too late.
She sang a duet with Grammy nominee Kelly Price at a party at a Hollywood nightclub. Houston was there with her daughter having a good time, but after cheers on stage, these photos of the disheveled, bloated, and agitated Houston leaving. She reportedly had blood dripping down her leg, scratches on her wrist, and had to be escorted from the club. She reportedly had blood dripping down her leg, scratches on her wrist, and had to be escorted from the club. But the people who knew her said she was simply sweating from her performance.
There was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong. She was singing. She was dancing. She was laughing. She was playing. I'm going to remember her just like that. That's the Whitney that I always had the pleasure of being around.
The pop superstar would be dead the next day.
booking her for the evening, and that she got upset and said, "Get out of my face," and that was, you know, and Nikki was there, and that's
Nikki
why.
can vouch for Stacey.
Yeah, that's.
It doesn't matter what you guys were fighting about. She just got focused on it, got aggressive. That's that.
Yeah, well, I think she was concerned about who I was, and you know what I mean. She.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Had it been, and Nikki knows.
That's the part I don't like to hear you say. I got to be honest with you. That you would escalate. That's what I think people get defensive about.
What?
It's like, that you would escalate something with Whitney Houston. I don't think you would. I don't believe that.
No, that's my point. That's exactly my point that I'm making. That it wouldn't. No. That's my point exactly. Okay. It would never go there with Whitney Houston because she's Whitney Houston, and she's mine.
And not only that, you had a nice evening with her. She's a friend who had you had a flair.
This is my point to you, Dr. Drew, and I'm gonna be real direct. And a lot of people are not gonna like hear me say what I'm saying. I am from Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. I'm from the hood. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I mean, let's really kick it like it is. All right? And people are gonna be angry. Our fans are gonna be angry with me saying this, but I'm from the hood. Like any regular person, me standing in the club and her calling me the B word and pushing my head away, putting her face. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. My point is, I love Whitney just like her fans love her. My point is, it doesn't matter where I'm from. It doesn't matter if she pushed me. It doesn't matter if she called me a bitch. It doesn't. None of that matters. I love you too much to go down this road with you. I don't care what you do to me. You understand? That was my point.
And then you also, I think, Stacey, in your defense, weren't aware of where she was mentally, which is a great thing for Dr.
I'm going to throw it out. When people are using or they have addictive disorder and she's treated, the guys want to take the team and mean out, we'll be have at it. She was treated 3 times for addiction, and you don't be treated 3 times for addiction and not have addiction.
I mean, you've seen some of the great singers of all time. Where does this lady rank?
She really ranks right up there. For me, I've been known to be involved with divas, whether it started with Dionne Warwick, which led to Aretha Franklin, and then it led to Whitney and Annie Lennox. When I saw that audition for that movie part, I saw a depth and a range and a soulfulness that really ranks at the top level, and that's why we've been working together ever since.
I mean, I've always assumed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be hard to beat Whitney at her peak. It was assumed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be hard to beat Whitney at her peak. Hard, right? When I hear you sometimes, I do genuinely feel, and I'm not as expert like Clive, but I feel she's nearly there, maybe as good now. I feel she's nearly there, maybe as good now.
Listen, it's hard to make comparisons. For years, you know, working with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, I was always said, well, can Whitney compare with Aretha? They're all-time. And Jennifer definitely has that potential to be an old-timer. What we have to do with Top 40 Radio today, concentrating on electronica and dance music, we've got to make sure that artists like Jennifer, or rock artists, the new Bruce Springsteen, the new Bob Dylan, has a chance to emerge so that her voice is incomparable. I have a party the night before the Grammys. I put her on, and her peers, everyone is sitting there, and they just are flabbergasted. So she's the real deal. And now we've got her married. She has a record out right now, Think Like a Man. Right now, Think Like a Man, where she is there with Rick Ross, with Neo. Jennifer shows her versatility, and she's special.
As a kid at 11, I would sit and create duets between Whitney and I with her. I Will Always Love You and
Did you really?
Yes, I did. As a kid at 11, I would sit and create duets between Whitney and I with her. I Will Always Love You and
Did you really?
Yes, I did. And so to be sitting here right now, right now with him is like, I feel like I'm dreaming.